Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show we are having the second part of importance of interfaith, promoting peace and harmony. Just in case you're joining us, send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I am not alone. I have panelists with me who are going to help us to understand better the importance of interfaith. I will allow them to introduce themselves, starting with you, our lady.
Always ladies first. Thank you very much, Ines.
You're most welcome.
My name is Maliha Sheikh. I am from Nairobi. Ningependa kusema jambo, salam alaikum, namaste, sasrikal, greetings in every shape and form that I know. And it's a nice opportunity to be here. Asante sana. Thank you.
You're welcome. To you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jina langu naitwa Rashid Hussein Salim. Mimi ni imamu wa Ruiru Jamii Mosque. Nashukuru sana kualikwa katika kushiriki katika kipindi hiki Chungu cha Jamii. Kwa hivyo karibuni wote inshallah.
Welcome. To you, sir.
Hello everyone, I'm Dennis Otieno. I'm a pastor from Good News Mission Ruiru. It's a pleasure to be part and parcel of this fora. Thank you.
Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to host you all here today and to be able to talk about interfaith. Maybe to start with you, Maleha, being the lady of the house. Interfaith is a very crucial conversation and a very unique conversation to have, especially at this era. Being a lady is not something easy to be able to speak out there and also to come out boldly to talk about interfaith. So what really drove you into be able to come out boldly as a woman of also your religion and be able to be an advocate of interfaith?
Thank you, Eunice. This is a very good question. Clearly, being a woman sometimes does have its challenge. But at the same time, I think that we are in a very different position because if you look at where education is passed down, especially from the grassroots, especially at the younger generation, the female has more say or hands-on participation in molding the younger generation. We spend time with our children, be it from whether we are their mothers, we are their grandmothers, we are their teachers. These are roles that are traditionally carried out mostly by the primary caregiver, which is a mom. I think we have a very vital role to be able to mold mindset right from the start. If we are preaching cohesion, if we're preaching understanding, tolerance, then we have the ability to be able to ensure that the generations coming up are people who accept differences, appreciate similarities, and work together for a common goal. So I think we may not be the front runners to be very vocal, but behind the scenes, I think we play the biggest role.
Interesting. I like the fact that behind the scenes, because even in family setups, behind the scenes are the women, because at the forefront are the men, right? Now coming to you, gentlemen, interfaith is something that we're really coming today to be able to embrace it as a society, because we realize, as we're talking behind the scenes, growing up, you could comfortably see an African child and a white child taking photos together, playing together, eating together. But when we grow up and we are coming individuals who know the do's and don'ts, the rights and wrongs, that is where you find we start splitting and having separate views and also perspective about each and every one of us in terms of religions, background, nationalities and everything. So what brings about these differences, and why should we have it when we are much grown, while growing up we didn't have the differences? Maybe you can start with you, Pastor Dennis.
Basically, interfaith is coming together, regardless of your religious persuasion, so that we can work for the common good of this nation. We are Kenyans, and we grew up together. So we are promoting interfaith for the common good of this country. So we should not let, our religion, our culture, our race, our backgrounds to discriminate us, because we have one country, we believe in one God, and we should work together for the common good of Kenyans and humanity, so that they can actualize their dream and also realize their potential as an individuals, as a country, and as a nation. Thank you.
Thank you for that. To you, Imam, msemo wako ni upi?
Kwanza interfaith ni mazungumzo au njia ya maisha ambayo tunafaa kuwa kwamba hatuna tashwishi nayo, kwa sababu Mungu kuanzia mwanzo alipomuumba mwanadamu alimpatia mwelekeo, na huo mwelekeo ikawa ndio imani. Hii imani ikawa ndio dini ya mwanadamu. Kile ambacho anakiamini ndicho ambacho anakiabudu. Sasa ikaenda mahali ambapo mwanadamu alifika akawa anaamini kile ambacho Mungu hajamwajibishia kuamini. So akawa anaabudu kinyume na kile ambacho Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anataka awe ni mwenye kuabudu. Na Mungu hakuchoka. Mungu akawa analeta manabii ili kuweza kumkumbusha huyu mwanadamu, kumrudisha pale ambapo anafaa kuwa huyu mwanadamu. Sasa hapa ndipo ikapatikana utofauti wa kiimani. Lakini katika maumbile sisi wote tukabakia kwamba ni binadamu, Mungu wetu ni mmoja. Aidha mimi niko chini ya yale ambayo Mungu anayataka, au yule mwingine yuko nje ya yale ambayo Mwenyezi Mungu anayataka. Lakini mwenyewe kwa imani yake anaamini kwamba hili bado Mungu pia anafanya nini? Mungu pia analitaka. Sasa ikawa hatuna budi kuishi pamoja. Mpaka leo hii tutakuta kwamba mbali na kuwa mimi ni Muislamu napatikana, yule mwingine ni Mkristo napatikana, lakini kuna imani zingine tu ambazo ziko kule nje na tunazijua, na tunawajua wale ambao wana practice imani kama zile, na tunaishi na wao. Kwa nini tunaishi na wao? Kwa sababu ya kwamba sisi ni binadamu, wao ni binadamu. So tunaangalia ule ubinadamu. Uzuri wa maisha ambayo tutayaishi ni maisha yetu sisi. Nitakapoishi vizuri na wewe, tutakuwa tunajenga ule uzuri wa maisha kwa ajili ya watoto wetu na kwa ajili ya history ambayo sisi tutakuja kuiweka. Kwa sababu tutakapoishi vibaya, kisingizio ikuwe kwamba ni imani au ni dini, basi hapo tutakuwa tunawavunjia mwelekeo wale ambao wako mbele yetu, wale ambao wako nyuma yetu, na wale ambao ni vizazi vyetu, tutakuwa tunawavunjia. Kwa hivyo hatuna budi katika matabaka yote na imani zozote ambazo zitakuwa zina exist katika ulimwengu wetu, tuwe ni wenye kuishi pamoja. Mimi ni practice imani yangu, wewe practice imani yako, nikiheshimu misingi ya imani yako na wewe uheshimu misingi ya imani yangu, na tukitoka pamoja katika mambo ya kimaisha bado tunashirikiana pamoja. Yes.
Ningependa kuongeza mawazo yangu kidogo. I think when Sheikh is talking, he's talking about building bridges. Kwa Kiswahili kutengeneza daraja. Lazima daraja ni muhimu kushinda ukuta, mimi naona. Yes, it enables a fostering of an understanding between different people from different backgrounds. Asante.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on now, today I would want us to maybe having that you're coming from different places and you're being brought together by Interfaith. Maybe we can talk about personal experiences and journeys that you've been able to walk through Interfaith, and what are the impacts and the changes that you've been able to see. Maybe we can start with you again, our lady. The projects, maybe the organizations, maybe let's say projects per se.
Okay.
The changes that you've been able to see, what drove you to maybe a certain project for you to work on that and what are the changes that you're able to see? Because as you're talking about interfaith, generally is coming together despite our different religions. But now, what are we working on? Because we are not working on our religion. What is that we are working on?
I think the common goal that we put on the forefront when we talk about projects, when we talk about what we are passionate about, is building the society as a whole. Whether you come from whichever background, what you believe in, the objective that we have is to build and develop the society. That means each and one of us, we try and address the social issues and the problems that we are facing in our society. Conflict can also be resolved by having people that are passionate about interfaith, who have tolerance and acceptance. Some of the personal projects that I do like, in a small way, I volunteer with different organizations that are not pertaining to my faith. I proudly say that I'm a member of the Ramgarhia Youth Association, which is a Sikh organization. I'm very passionate about their Langar Truck project, which involves taking cooked food down to the vulnerable areas, feeding many people by yourself. So forget about the donations that we do, whether it's zakat that we're taking out from a Muslim ware or the charity that we're taking out in a church or anything. This is passionate to me personally because I get to participate, to be able to cook food and serve it myself to the less fortunate members of society. I'm also very lucky to be able to belong to the Amma Foundation, which is the patron is called the Hugging Saint, and it's an organization that's set up in southern India, in Kerala. She is mostly Hindu, but because of the work that she does, the humanitarian work that she does, I think she has such a beautiful outreach. So I like to be able to volunteer at her organization, which is a school that is set up in Arthur River, that is offering the CBC level, the CBC system to the disadvantaged members of our society. And they have a feeding program, which ensures that, you know, the younger children are at least getting one nutritious meal a day in this country. So I like to be able to do something like that. There's others, obviously, that I do belong to, that pertain to my own religion and my sect. We have numerous projects that we come down with from our community, which is the Shia Ithnashri Jamaat in Nairobi. So we will, yes, we have the necessary arms that we are dictated to, like zakah, which is a compulsory contribution that we have to give to the community, and we put it together to be able to put it in different projects, whether it is to build up a mosque, or whether it's to do a borehole, or whether it's just to be able to highlight, you know, in terms of education projects, medical. So there's lots of different things that I like to organize, like to belong to. I enjoy doing social work. I enjoy being a humanitarian. I'm also a nature lover. So there's organizations that I belong to in this country that protect and conserve the earth and the beautiful resources that we have. I like to combine an element of fun towards it as well. So I feel proud to be able to support my team, which is the Girls in Pearls, at a motorsport event called the Rhino Charge, which is now giving back through to the community by conserving and doing conservation and environmental work for this beautiful planet.
Interesting.
Yes.
I like the fact that you're wearing different hats.
I do.
Coming to you, Imam, what are the projects that you're able to do at the Ruiru Jamii Mosque in terms of interfaith and also bringing together the community, may it be in Ruiru or anywhere else, as a leader?
Katika msikiti wetu wa Ruiru kama tunavyojua, Ruiru ni sehemu ambayo wakaaji wake majority ni wale ambao tunasema ni non-Muslims. Waislamu utawakuta kwamba labda wako mahali pamoja tu pale ambapo msikiti umeweza kuwekwa, na tunaishi na majirani zetu na watoto wao vizuri, tukijua kwamba watoto wetu shule wanazoenda ni zile zile ambazo zimechanganyika. Kwa hivyo kunakuwa hakuna ile mtu kujiweka mbali zaidi na jamii ama na ile society ambayo yuko ndani yake. Na sisi kama msikiti tunapokuwa na programs ama project ambazo ni za kugusa jamii, huwa hatubagui. Tunafungua milango yetu na tunawakaribisha wote during Ramadhan. I think imekuwa ni kitu ambacho kimezoeleka wakati ambao ni wa Ramadhan. Vijana, wasichana, watu wazima wanakuja wakati wa jioni pale katika msikiti. Tunawakaribisha na kile ambacho tuko nacho, tunaweza kushare pamoja, na wanatoka pale wakiwa wamefurahi sana. Wengine wanatoka mpaka wanabeba, wanasema leo nyumbani kwetu kidogo kumekuwa na matatizo na upungufu. So hii tunaona kwamba ni mkono ambao unasaidia katika jamii yetu, especially pale ambapo msikiti wetu upo. Na kunapokuwa pia vile vile na program ile ya wakati wa Eid al-Adha vile inakuja, milango yetu tunaifungua wazi. In fact huwa tuna zile ni nyama ambazo tunagawana, huwa tunaweka mahali ambapo ni open. Kwa hivyo kama ni laini hapa ya wanaume hapa, ya mama hapa, ya non-Muslims wakue hapa, wote wanachukuliwa kama kuwa ni kitu kimoja. Vile ambavyo mimi nahitaji ndivyo wewe unahitaji, vile ambavyo kwangu kuna kosa ndivyo ambavyo kwako kuna kosa. So inakuwa kwamba ni kitu ambacho kinatuhusu sisi wote. Si kuwa eti mtu anaweza akasimama akaanza kubagua au kutoa maneno ambayo ni kumbagua yule ambaye labda hayuko belong na kile ambacho kinatolewa au na yule ambaye ametoa. La, kwa sababu kilichotolewa na kinachogawanywa kimetolewa na kinagawanywa kwa ajili ya binadamu. Sisi ni binadamu, ndio tumeweza kufikiwa, na hatuna budi kuwafikia binadamu wengine ndio waweze kufaidika na kile ambacho kimetolewa, kwa sababu sisi wote tunahitaji. Yes.
I want us to take a break, and when we come back, we're starting with you, Pastor Dennis, so that you can tell us what are some of the projects and initiatives that you're having at Good News Mission in Ruiru, and what are the changes that you're able to see in that area. Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
A boba tea letter set. We're going to make the letter set. Really cute, right? Now we are finished to make.
A student can transition from other curriculums such as the Kenyan CBC curriculum, the Pearson EdExcel curriculum, and the IB curriculum to the Cambridge curriculum.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about importance of interfaith and how it brings about peace and harmony. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, we have talked with Maleha and also Imam Rashid, talking to us about the projects that they've been working on in terms of impacting the society. Now we're going to start with you, Pastor Dennis. What are the projects that you have in place or you have participated, and what are the changes that you've been able to see through these projects that you've been having?
Thank you so much. Actually, we are part and parcel of IYF, that is International Youth Fellowship. It's a youth, actually IYF is a faith-based NGO that basically deals with the youth and addresses the social problems that the youth undergo. And probably we are giving mindset education to schools, to colleges, and even universities. We are teaching them about mindset change because we believe if they have a mindset change, their lives are able to change and also their world will change. So we have been running programs in primary schools, like there's a school that we used to do mindset. And also last year we were also doing in Ruiru Secondary School, we are offering mindset to the students and also to the teachers as well. And also we are involved with the prison program. We reach to the inmates. We teach them also mindset training. And we have seen some of them have had their prison sentences reduced. And some of them, because of they have received correction to the mindset change, they have been able to be released. Like a case in point, we had one who was released and we were able to absorb him and stayed with him and train him how he can go back to the society and be able to fit in. And right now he's employed as a security guard because normally there's a challenge where they are not able to fit into the society very well. But now we are thankful that he's gelled in with the society, he's working, he's making a living, courtesy of IYF and the program that we had in the prison. Then also number two, we have IYF Free Weekend Academy that we are doing in Ruiru. Actually, we are in season 3 at the moment. We are able to register 520. So what is this Free Weekend Academy? It's a youth hub that is promoting soft skills program for 3 months so that we are able to enhance the employability of these youths. And what I've seen is that basically in our center, we are offering hair, beauty and barbering. We are offering plumbing, electrical, sign language, and also computer packages. And we have seen many are coming, regardless of their faiths. For instance, I have 10 Muslims who are coming and they are training. Some are doing plumbing, electrical, and even computer packages. And basically, our core functions for the IYF Weekend Academy is that we have 4 pillars. We are doing academy, offering the soft skills to the people. And then number 2, we are doing something that is called volunteer. So we are able to welcome them in, they volunteer, and also able to offer their youth to the society. Then we also promote chaplaincy. This is where we give them mindset training, how they're able to have a change of mindset. It's not just about them having, the soft skills. We also want to teach them having the right mindset so that whatever knowledge that they have acquired, they have received, they're able to apply the mindset to help them enhance the employability levels. Also, through IYF, we have done cleaning programs to schools, to institutions. We do the cleaning programs. So we have all that are involved. Then we have also done the free medical. We have offered it we did it there. So everybody has been able to come in and receive free medical services from us. And then now that we are at the tail end of our program, so we are planning with all our students. We want to go and visit maybe some children's home, offer them maybe foodstuffs and clothing, and also be able to do a cleanup campaign as a method of offering to the society, regardless of the faith. So I think if we do this in Ruiru, it is something that is able to make us cohere together. So basically, those are the programs that we are doing in Ruiru, and I'm thankful that I also have share. Maybe we can partner together.
I was just going to say, Pastor, as what you've said is very inspirational. I really appreciate the good work that you are doing. Eunice, I had forgotten to mention that recently with another organization, now this is, I am very passionate about children, but on the other extreme, I'm also very passionate about giving back to the elderly of our community. At Runda, we have a small home called Mji wa Huruma, and we had a beautiful, beautiful, fun-filled activity day where there was not only good food and music, but also the essential skills that the elderly have unfortunately cannot be able to get to. Something simple like a good shave and a new haircut and everything makes a lot of difference in their lives. I think this was something that was very fulfilling and rewarding for me. So we all have one thing in common, is that in our core, yes, we are interfaith people, but I think we are very, very humanitarian work is something that we put at the forefront of our own personal preferences. I appreciate that we all have these, and together maybe after this program is done, I'm sure we shall be having a little talk on the side to see how we can collaborate. I was very fortunate enough to be able to, one of the most memorable experiences I will have is the free eye cataract surgery camp that I just participated in last month in Kakuma. So it was nice to be able to take, or rather assist with and be part of an exercise that is aimed at giving sight back, a simple thing like sight, to members of our pastoralist community, like the Turkana, as well as the refugees that are based in Kakuma. And what a big camp it is. I think it's one of the biggest that we have in the world. So you met, and these are vulnerable people. These are people who are displaced, so they really need what they can get. I think I'll let you carry on to the next question. We can go on and on about this, but asante.
Thank you so much. I want us to talk about the misconceptions that has been there in regards to interfaith per se. Not really interfaith, because interfaith is bringing us together. But now the misconception that has been there, when you're talking about interfaith, is when we are putting our differences aside and coming together. But you realize, in as much as you're putting our differences aside and coming together, I may not relate to you well as Maleha without getting to know Maleha as an individual. If I get to stereotype or criticize you because you're a Muslim, or you get to marginalize me because I'm a Christian and I'm African, we can't coexist. But if you put that aside, then we are able to. So my question I'm putting is the misconceptions and the misunderstandings that has been there, that you've been able to come out, you as Maleha, and say the understanding you have about maybe let me mention about the Islam. So the understanding you have about Islam, this is wrong. This is the correct way. So that you're able to correct me as Eunice to be able now to sit and reflect and say, so all along I've been having the wrong understanding about Islam per se. All along you've been having a wrong understanding about Christianity per se. So this is the correct way. So maybe you can give us a personal experience where you have been able to come out boldly and correct a misunderstanding or a misinformation that has been there before, so that the people that you are around with or working with have a better understanding and maybe coming even more together closely.
I think personally, from the Abrahamic faiths, Muslims, Christians, Jews, we have certain things that are very, very similar. I think the differences, and when we are very stubborn in wanting to promote what we believe in, I think understanding, fostering understanding is very important. Tolerating each other's views, giving respect. Your way doesn't necessarily have to be right, neither is mine. Let's learn to coexist. Let's think about other things apart from these small differences. Let's think about the challenges that we're having in our society. Let's come together to be able to improve these challenges is more important to me. Personally, I do not want to get into the nitty-gritty of, you know, looking at my Christian counterpart and telling he's trying to enforce on me the trilogy, the Trinity, about, you know, how we have God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. I don't want to, personally, I think when I focus too much of it on trying to say, no, Mungu ni moja tu, hakuna mtoto yake, hakuna nini. I don't really need this. You believe this? Well and good, no problem. What is the problem that we have in our community that we can come together? We don't have enough education. Our infrastructure is not correct. You know, there's so much conflict in certain areas. Let's try and put together our differences aside and work together to be able to achieve a common goal, something that is going to develop people rather than creating drifts amongst ourselves. Because there's a trilogy here, and I believe that, you know, God is only one, he has no child, he has no, you know, so I really don't think this is appropriate for growth, for development. I think it gives also rise to things like extremism. So if we want to curb extremism, we have to first tolerate each other's beliefs, accept them, respect them, and then move on.
Thank you for that. What is your take on the same, Imam Rashid?
Kitu cha sisi kuelewa kwamba tunaishi katika dunia ambayo imejaa na challenges na mitihani huku na kule, na kama tutaweza kuiweka mitihani kama ile ama challenges kama zile na tuzi attach na ile imani ambayo niko nayo, then tutapoteza mwelekeo. Kwa sababu mimi ni Muislamu, ndiyo nimejipata ni Muislamu because my dad and my mom were Muslims. Walikuwa ni Waislamu, nilizaliwa nikiwa Muislamu, so nikajipata nikiwa Muislamu. So I'm proud to be a Muslim because my parents are Muslims. Na the same, wewe umejipata kwamba ni Mkristo kwa sababu your mom and dad ni wa Kristo. So unajipata kwamba unabeba nini? Unabeba sembuse. Leo hii tungejipata kwamba eti hakuna dini, wazazi wetu hawana dini, tumezaliwa katika mazingira ambayo hakuna dini, tungekuwa nini? Unaona? Na je, tungezaliwa katika mazingira ambayo dini ni moja tu, ile ambayo wazazi wako wanajua na ile ambayo wazazi wangu wanajua, ni moja tu, kungekuwa na nini? So ndio Qur'an, Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anatuambia kwamba ya ayuha nasu inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu. Enyi watu, tumewaumbeni kutokamana na mwanamume na mwanamke, tukawafanya ni mataifa tofauti tofauti. So huo utofauti wa mataifa ndio unaleta utofauti wa kiimani. Sasa itakapokuja utofauti wa kiimani, hapo ndio tunapata kwamba kutakuwa na nini, kutakuwa na challenge. Nisipo accept kwamba kuna huo utofauti wa imani katika maisha yetu kwamba una exist, then nitaichukua hiyo challenge kwamba ni enmity. Unaona? Sasa nikichukua hiyo challenge kwamba ni enmity, then mimi ndio mtu wa kwanza kufanya nini, kuathirika. Lakini Mwenyezi Mungu anatuambia kwamba ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qabaila litaarafu, ili muweze kujuana. Na siwezi kukujua kama sitakupatia space katika maisha yangu tuweze kuishi pamoja. Huwezi ukanijua kama hautanipatia nafasi katika maisha yako tuweze kuishi pamoja. Na ndio watoto wetu sisi wenyewe, shule tulizopelekwa kulikuwa na mchanganyiko wa kiimani. Watoto wetu tunavyowapeleka kuna mchanganyiko wa kiimani. Tatizo linakuja hapa kwamba sasa mimi au mtoto akishakuwa aone kwamba sasa yeye amekuwa ni balozi wa imani ambayo ako nayo na yule mwingine ni balozi wa imani ambayo ako nayo, anatengeneza rift baina yake na ile imani yenye ako nayo against yule mwingine ambaye yuko upande ule. Kwa nini? Maybe kwa maslahi ambayo anaona kwamba anaweza akapata, au kufanya hivyo kutaweza kumwenua akuwe pale juu. Hataki kuwa mtu tu wa kawaida ambaye anaweza kuingiana, lakini huu ukawaida ambao mtu anaweza akaukimbia katika maisha ambayo tunaishi, huu ndio anautaka Mwenyezi Mungu. Kwa sababu tutaishi pamoja, tutajuana, tutaweza kukula pamoja, wacha utofauti wa imani. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam Muhammad, maisha aliyoyaishi, aliishi katika sehemu mbili. Aliishi Maka, akaishi Madina. Maka alikuwa na watu ambao tunawaita kwamba ni mushrikun, hawana dini. Hao watu hawakuwa na dini, walikuwa wanaabudu masanamu. Alipoingia Madina akapata kwamba kulikuwa na mushrikin katika Waarabu, watu ambao hawana dini, then kulikuwa na Majewish na kulikuwa na Christians ambao walikuwa surrounding the Madina ambayo Mtume SAW amefanya nini, amehamia. Ni nini Mtume SAW alifanya? Mtume SAW aliwaleta pamoja wote, akawaambia kwamba haya ndiyo maisha yetu, mimi niko hapa, wewe uko pale na wewe uko pale, uko na misingi yako, niko na misingi yangu, uko na misingi yako, tusiingiliane. Sitawaingilia katika kile ambacho mnakifanya na nyinyi msiniingilie katika kile ambacho ninakifanya. Hapo ndipo shida iliingia, kwamba mimi nakuingilia katika kile ambacho wewe unakifanya nikiamini kwamba you are wrong. Unafaa kufanya kile ambacho mimi nakifanya. Ni changamoto hii. Shaona? Naam. So ndio tuweze kuimaliza changamoto kama hii, basi kuna hitaji civic education ya nguvu sana kwa kila ambaye anaingia shule, awe ni mtoto wangu, awe ni mtoto wa Kiislamu, awe ni mtoto wa Kihindu, awe ni mtoto wa kinini, ili kuweza kujua kwamba sisi tuna exist katika ulimwengu huu, na vyovyote ambavyo mimi nitakuwa devoted katika imani yangu, sitakutoa wewe. Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Apparently, every time I want to engage you, Pastor Dennis, I have to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to start with you so that you tell us the misconceptions that you've maybe been able to come across and the challenges, and what are the things that you've been able to see in terms of differences. Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 2114. We'll be back shortly.
And for the topic of the day is self-awareness and sisterhood. Self-awareness and sisterhood.
People know they're self-aware, but if you don't know how to act on it, then you're not really as self-aware as you think.
I usually say garbage in, garbage out, and whatever, you cannot give what you don't have. So impact yourself first and work on yourself. If you feel like they're draining you, well and good.
By the way, kuna kijana, unajua Ian amekuwa akinichanganya nini, and I really want us to be together. Unaambia Ian, acha nikwambie, ufanye hivi na hivi na hivi. Alafu tunakuja friend dinner or something, na kuna una turn up na Ian, are you mad?
You know, as adulting is adulting, right now is the real intentionality that comes in. But if you are self-aware as a person, you get to now be intentional with ask. Kama mmekuwa distant, you can reach out.
So today's game is sing the artist song, right? Sing the artist song.
Nyashinski!
Aya basi, sing for us.
Twende nalo.
Uko sana, wote malaika
Aibo,
na mabawa yao,
aibo.
wote wanakita wendo mama yao.
Water remains to be the world's most precious commodity, but is the most misused. In times of drought, saving water is the only solution to making sure you have it. Don't use the shower when water is scarce. Instead, use the basin while bathing. Repair all leaking taps and pipes. Wash your car only whenever necessary. If not, use a piece of cloth to wipe it clean. Do not use the hose pipe to water your garden. Instead, use the water you clean your vegetable with to water your flowers. Do not release wastewater into rivers. Note that your downstream is someone else's upstream. Of all the waters available on Earth, only 1% is fit for human consumption. Every drop counts. Water remains to be the world's most precious commodity, but is the most misused. In times of drought, saving water is the only solution to making sure you have it. Don't use the shower when water is scarce. Instead, use the basin while bathing. Repair all leaking taps and pipes. Wash your car only whenever necessary. If not, use a piece of cloth to wipe it.
Sheikh,
Do not
mashallah.
use the hose pipe to water your garden. Instead, use the water you clean your vegetable with to water your flowers. Do not release wastewater into rivers. Note that your downstream is someone else's upstream. Of all the waters available on Earth, only 1% is fit for human consumption. Every drop counts.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Just in case you're joining us, today we are talking about the importance of interfaith and how it brings about peace and harmony. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21114. So before we went on a break, we were talking about the misconceptions and beliefs that has been there before when it comes to matters to do with interfaith. To you, Pastor Dennis, because that is where we broke, what are the misconceptions maybe that you've been able to deal with at a personal level, whereby you have to interact with people of different caliber, but they have misunderstanding and misconceptions of the truth that is there?
First of all, we have to appreciate that all of us have different faiths. And I would say to be different, having a difference is not a sin. So we all believe in one God, and He created all of us. And regardless of your religious persuasion. So what brings a misconception, as I've learned, is ignorance. Because if I'm ignorant of Muslim faith or Shi faith, then you can't criticize what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get some info, basically of their faith and her faith, then basically we can learn to appreciate and tolerate each other. Personal experience I had when I was in Kisii, we have a Christian leadership fellowship, and I was able to invite one of the sheikh, one of the imam from Kisii. Actually, he came, and he was able to appreciate the programs that we are doing. And one thing with him, we had a mindset education program, and we did it in their mosque. Actually, he gave us one of their facilities, and we were able to use. So they brought their students, and we also brought our students. But now, the buyers that we're able to face from our part, wakasema, ile ni ile kanisa inashiriki na Waislamu. So I was shocked. Even the landlord was able to chase us because of the misconception they had. But he came to our meeting, CLF program in Kisii. We held it in an hotel. He participated in it, and he was so happy. And also, he invited us for the program. We were doing mindset change because mindset has no faith leaning. It is basically the program that affects the minds and the hearts of the people. So he helped us, and we did the program in their hall for free. And he brought in the people, their people. They were wearing buibuis, and we also brought in our people. And we were able to gel and learn, but also we suffered repercussions because of that. But I believe basically is ignorance, because I think we have been programmed in a certain level. Muslims are like this, also Christians are like this, or Hindus are like this. But now when we get to interact on a personal level and get to know them, then we can appreciate everybody. I cannot impose my faith on anybody. So we learn to appreciate each other, tolerate each other for the common good of mankind. So regardless of your religious persuasion, we should set that aside. So long as it's not infringing on my rights, then we can accept everybody and work together for the common good of humanity. Because at the end of the day, I want to believe when we stand before the Almighty God, He will not tell you why you are Muslim, why you are this. It is your relationship and interaction with Him that will matter at the end of the day. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you so much. As we are running also out of time, maybe you can share, should I call it a testimony or a story, a success story that you've been able to be proud of. Maleha, you've shared so many of yours that you're like, I'm proud to be part of this. But as we are winding up, one that has taught you personally a moral story and has been able to grow you at an individual level.
Wow, this is, we're going to be out of time if I start.
Briefly.
I think I don't want to talk so much about the past. I think this instance, this experience, is a memorable one for me. To engage with pastor here, to engage with imam, to engage with you, to engage with the members of the public, our viewers, and thank and having this platform, not only with the Good News Broadcasting services, but also being on social platforms to be able to express my views of tolerance, of peace, of cohesion. I think this is a memorable experience. This is definitely going to stick with me. I think for now, this is all I'm going to say. Ama tutamaliza time. Wacha iende kwa wanaume.
To you, Mom.
Well, my personal experience ni mingi, but naweza sema kwamba ninavyo amiliana au kuinteract na watu ambao especially sio Waislamu, hasatan pastors, mara nyingi huwa wananishangaa kwamba imamu, mbona uko tofauti? Saa ingine tunakuwa na forums katika church compound, but hatujaona Muslims, even mashekhe wakiingia katika kanisa, mbona unaingia? But mimi huwaambia kwamba Kanisa ni building na ni mahali ambapo munamuomba Mwenyezi Mungu, na mimi siingii katika kanisa kwa sababu ya kile ambacho wewe unakifanya katika hiyo kanisa, ni kwa sababu ya ule umoja ambao umetuleta ndani ya hii kanisa. Kile ambacho kinaendelea ndani ya hii kanisa unakihitaji na mimi nakihitaji, na hakuna katika binadamu ambaye anaweza kukimbia mbali na Mwenyezi Mungu. Ikiwa wewe unamuomba Mwenyezi Mungu hapa ndani ya hii kanisa na unaamini kwamba unakuwa very close na Mwenyezi Mungu ukiwa hapa katika hii altar, altar sio? Katika hii altar, then mimi pia nahitaji kuwa karibu na Mwenyezi Mungu zaidi. So lazima nikuwe mahali ambapo Mwenyezi Mungu anaweza nipata kwa karibu zaidi. So mimi sina shida ya kuingia katika kanisa nasema wewe ni sasa wewe huko tumejifunza yale ambayo mtu mwingine asingeweza kutufundisha katika maisha yetu. So hii ni experience ambayo kwa hakika inatufanya sisi wote tunakuwa balance, yani inatuharmony. Tunakuja mahali ambapo tunajikuta kwamba hatuna utofauti wowote, licha ya kwamba mimi navaa hii kanzu, pastor anaona kwamba no, mimi nikiingia hapa siwezi vaa ile kanzu kwa sababu iko related into certain faith, but sisi wote kwa sababu ya ule binadamu tunamhitaji Mwenyezi Mungu, na Mwenyezi Mungu yuko mahali popote ambapo tutamkusudia, then hatuwezi kujibagua. Yes.
Sheikh, hujawahi ulizwa kama unaenda kubadilisha dini? Mimi niulizwa nikienda kwa kanisa, nikienda kwa temple, nikionekana na watu wetu, lazima nitaulizwa. Paka nawaambianga vile wameeleza, you don't know what I have gone there to do. Siendi kuwacha Mwenyezi Mungu wangu. Bado kwa roho yangu Mwenyezi Mungu wangu anaitwa Allah. Lakini ile imetuleta pamoja is the common good that we can achieve together.
Sure.
Lakini yenyewe I have also faced those challenges.
Also ni labda kwa nukta mbili tatu. Kuna watu huwa wanachanganyisha kidogo. Mwenyezi Mungu ni Kiswahili, God ni Kizungu, Allah ni Kiarabu. Ukienda kwa Kikuyu Gai, sio? Ukienda kwa labda kwa nini wengine wateta Murungu. Yote meaning mwenye anatajwa ni jina ya mtu ni jina ya mtu mmoja. Haijalishi umemuita kwa lugha gani.
Kweli.
So tofauti ni ile lugha yenye utatumia, but nikisema Allah pia niko na mother tongue. Mungu au mrungu, nitamuita Mwenyezi Mungu in my mother tongue mrungu. Shaona? But nikija kwa Kiswahili nitasema Mwenyezi Mungu. Nikija kwa Kiarabu nitasema Allah. Nikienda kwa Kizungu nitasema God. Ni kitu moja.
Yes.
Very important. And to you, Pastor Dennis?
So one of the memorable experience was, as we were doing our season 3 of Weekend Academy, there are 10 Muslims who came and registered for our program. And we have what is called chaplaincy. We do mindset training. So at first, they were apprehensive of entering our church building. So they were feeling like, I don't know what they were feeling, but right now they come, they wear buibus. Nobody ever told them, please remove your buibus. They come to the church building, we do our programs, and they do the academies and they leave. And just the other week, we had a leadership training here. They came and boarded and were able to go through our programs. And so on Sunday, I was giving them the certificates. Whatever they learned here, they were so happy, they were thankful. So that's a memorable thing for me. So they have no problem. Hawana ngori kuja kanisani kufanya sherehe zetu.
Mimi ningependa kuja kwa hiyo program yenu ya sign language.
Karibu.
Asante.
Karibu. Asante sana.
Kuna potential student.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and for honoring this invite and to be able to interact with you and to learn more about also Interfaith. I believe that our viewers back at home, they have learned a thing or two, like I have learned as well. So thank you so much. So viewer, let us continue this conversation online. across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.